So I'll call this meeting, regular meeting of council to order for December the 9th. And I'll have a motion to approve the agenda. Moved by Councillor Lang, seconded by Councillor Noel. Any discussion? All those in favor? Motion's carried. Right. And the motion to adopt the minutes of the inaugural meeting of December the 1st. Moved by Councillor Lang, seconded by Councillor Noel. Any discussion? All those in favor? And any opposed? Motion is carried. And a motion to receive the minutes of the Committee of the Whole meeting of December the 2nd. Moved by Councillor Lang, seconded by Councillor Noel. Any discussion? All those in favor? Motion is carried. All right, we have no delegations, so we'll move to business arising from the minutes. And this is additional appointments. So there's two different places, right? Your part of your report plus these additional appointments in the body.
I've moved my administrator's report to section 7. I reviewed the procedure plan. I should have it in section 7 rather than 4.
Oh, okay. So this additional appointment.
This is the only one.
Just these items that are here. Okay. So that Councillor Lang would like to be additionally appointed to SEDS. Don Lang, Selkirk College should also be appointed. This was an accidental admission.
So I'll move that the following persons are appointed to Sustained Economic Development Select Committee of Council, terms expiring as per the committee terms of reference. I assume we're okay on that if we do that now, and it won't be expiring December 31st, 2014. Okay. David Stewart, Donna Cormie, Louise Papp, Randy Morris, Amy Watson, Don Lang, Jim Holland, one of the councillors, Ramella. Ramella Burley.
They're already
Councillor Lang
council
is already appointed. Yes.
Okay.
Talk about having their organizations, then because they may change their appointments. Because Louise DePath she asked to have the chamber meeting that should be replaced, but I think she will remain on for a while. So that's why I was suggesting that the organizations that they represent be what's appointed rather than the individuals, because the individuals could change depending on turnover in the organizations when the AGMs occur. And that's how it is in the terms of reference.
And I don't know how you want to handle that, but typically the organization would make a recommendation to council who they want to be the representative, and council still has to appoint them. So we still have to appoint them. It's a term of reference that sets who is going to make the recommendation to us, but we still got we have to delegate the authority to an individual. So until the chamber replaces Rhonda, she's kind of stuck with it. I mean, Louise.
All right. So we have a motion there, and seconded by Councillor Lang. Any discussion? All those in favor? Motion is carried. Councillor Lang?
I guess I should have said for discussion. In my research on this subject, I just noticed that there are actually two terms of reference. There was the original terms of reference, and then the second one that was drafted last year. And in the original one, it clearly identified the groups that were to be represented. And so maybe that's a bit of housekeeping that we could attend to when we meet again, is to try to make sure that the terms of reference actually include the names of the organizations. But it was just a comment.
Which terms of reference are we working from?
There was actually one, it was redone again in July
So
this year.
Did we adopt that?
Yeah, so then there was a resolution for that. Yeah.
Yeah, so we need some clarification.
It's just some basic housekeeping. I don't think it's a huge big deal, but. Okay.
There's another one, Councillor Paul wishes to be appointed to the Health Committee.
So I'm going to stand down on that. At this point, I don't want to see the committee have to redo its terms of reference. It just sounds like a minor. And if I want to go to meetings, I'll go to meetings. And I'll wait and see maybe something will develop down the line. And if there's a vacancy created, then I'll be in.
So the report you said is moving down into the sevens, correct? Or is that where?
You still got a few resolutions.
Yeah, I can move the next recommendation. That the following persons are appointed to the Castle Area D Healthcare Select Committee of Council, terms expiring as per the committee terms of reference. Maggie Winters, Maggie Crow, Amy Watson, Andy Shadrack, Tyler Dobie, Lynn Stewart, Robert Nellis as ex officio for the IHA Victorian Health Center, Dr. Fontaine ex officio, Dr. Allen ex officio, Larry Badry, DCAS ex officio, and Deb Borsos ex officio for Leeds.
Second by Councillor Lang.
For discussion? So what representation does the council have on this committee? Just the mayor?
No, it's
No.
Glorioso and
Oh, we've already appointed two to the...
Yes, we did the
Yeah,
council.
okay, sorry, I missed that. That's fine.
Yeah, these are just the
Non-councils,
Yes.
okay, got it.
Okay. So any further discussion on that motion? Okay. All those in favor? Motion is carried.
I'll move that the following persons are appointed to the Public Arts Select Committee of Council, terms expiring as per the committee terms of reference. Alice Windsor, Brent Bukowski, Eliza Fry, Mike Young, Pamela Griffin.
Councillor Holland, second by Councillor Knoll. Any discussion? All those in favor? Motion is
I'll move that the following persons be appointed to the Castle Recreation Select Committee of Council, Joy Lucas,
Lucas.
Ken Butt, Kathy Freeman.
No, and Kathy Freeman actually asked at our spring meeting to have her name removed, so we need a replacement. And I think that was passed on. But, so we do need a replacement.
Without Kathy Freeman.
Just to discuss that, don't we have Doug Yee on that one?
That's the commission.
That's the commission, sorry.
Alright, so that's Joy Lucas and Ken Butt. Okay, any further discussion on that item? All those in favor? Motion is carried. So if anyone can think of a member of the public to add a third person to there, that would be, if you would let myself or the CAO know. Alright.
So, under other appointments, I'll move that the following persons be appointed or affirmed as Village of Castle liaisons to the following agencies or organizations. The Castle Community Forest Society, no, take it back. For Cootie Lake Historical Society, it's Molly Leithwood until the age of young. And for the Castle District Arena Association, it's Molly Leithwood until the age of young.
Second. Councillor Lang. Any discussion? All those in favor? Motion is carried.
Commission. The names are there on your agenda. Being fun, Dougie and Ken.
Oh, okay. Right.
So I'll move that Ken Budd and Doug Yee be appointed to the Recreation Commission, Regional District Central Committee.
Councillor Holland? Second by Councillor Knoll. Any discussion? All those in favor? Oh, yes.
Nice.
Sorry.
You can have. Well, I just wanted to advise council I've had a couple of discussions with the regional district now on this topic. It appears to be business as usual for non-elected rep appointments, but in the same breath, the RDCA is encouraging that fewer non-elected reps be appointed to commissions. So we're in a little bit of a hybrid kind of situation right now, but it's business as usual for the time being.
So all those in favor? Motion's
I
carried.
have a question.
Oh, that was, okay.
No, this is actually, it's only because of the CEO's made a comment that I'd like to ask for clarification on. Maybe we don't want to do it now at the meeting now because it's kind of out of order, but just so we don't forget, around establishing commissions, if we're looking at writing a bylaw now that's going to incorporate language with commissions, we should have something a little bit more definitive. Like if we're going to plan for the future, maybe the CEO could give us some advice on that.
It's a tough one. The RDCK last year took a fairly strong position on commissions, but it doesn't appear to be a sustained position this year, although they are still trying to push towards the elected rep only model. So commissions are certainly a viable part of local government structures.
It's no help, but thanks anyway. I get it.
All right, we'll move on to 5, correspondence from a letter from Minister Wilkinson. Recommendation is that the letter dated 2014-11-24 be received.
Move.
By Councillor Holland, seconded by Councillor Lang. Discussion?
Yeah, so I mean, this will be an issue for the facilities committee to address at its inaugural meeting in January, I suspect. So, but I am pleased to see that they're planning on replacing Mary, at least for the time being, and so that's encouraging that they're not just folding up their tent and moving out of town. So, at least for the time being.
Yes. Did you want to move that to the committee, or leave it as received?
Well, friendly amendment, I guess, just to have this communication forwarded to the facilities committee.
Sure.
Any further discussion? All those in favor? Motion's carried.
Does anyone have trouble with it? My internet just crashed. I was using one called Chambers and it's just disappeared off there.
KG.
You here?
Oh, lights have all gone out.
Lights are off on the road.
Why are you guys still in? Are you not? Are you linking up with someone else?
It were wireless and I
Oh,
think
it's
we're-
plugged. The box got kicked. It was unplugged. Neil?
Okay, let's see.
We working now?
Neil?
It's still not giving me the chamber one that I was using.
We have to reboot.
Might take
It's
about
like that.
30 or 40 seconds for it to reboot.
Right, okay.
Yeah, the box got kicked and pushed the plug out.
So what wireless network are you using?
I think I set mine up originally with the DLA KG one.
We're public right now, so watch out for the passwords. I'm on.
I have no clue what the password is, it's just saved in there now.
Right.
I'm
So
on
I don't know what
VLF
ever-
G. VLF KG.
Okay, that's what you recommended. We just didn't have the password. Alright. I'll put it in.
mail dated December 2nd from RDCK CAO Corn. It's a request that each municipality contribute $200 towards to support a retirement party for John Kettle scheduled for January 20th, 2015.
I won't be able to go to the party, otherwise I'd probably be on the couch again. I can give you a bit of background. Chuck Kettle was director at the regional district for 9 or 12 years. He was chair for 6 years. Very colorful character, well known in the Parliament building. When our MLA gave a little speech recognizing him at the Parliament, the Parliament cheered for him. I mean, he's well known as a big black hat. Anyway, he's off the points other places. All the rural directors at the meeting put in $200 for a retirement party, and all the municipal directors stated that, of course, that's not our decision and have to go to council. So that's why it's landed here. $200 a pop would be $4,000. Sounds like a pretty good party.
Yeah.
Doesn't go that far.
Councillor Lang?
There's no motion.
Yeah, I
No, I
know.
know.
So how are we going to deal with it with no motion?
Well, it could be just a simply motion to receive if that's all you would like.
I'll move to receive.
Second for discussion.
Councillor Lang?
To discuss or receive?
Yeah. Yeah,
Good.
why not? The only motion you don't discuss is referral, really, unless it's to whether or not to refer, but yeah. Councillor Lang?
Well, the irony of this, in my mind, is that we have yet to make any substantive movement to commemorate Mayor Lay and Molly Leithwood in the service they performed for the village. And we had talked, about, creating some kind of memento that they could be received as for the years of service that they provided. And the total budget for that particular event was probably going to be less than $200. So now we're voting, or at least we're receiving an email asking for an additional $200 for an RDCK chair, and I don't dispute that John Kettle did a lot of work for the regional district and was, and certainly a contributing member there. I have not questioning his qualifications. This is just outside the realm of what we normally do as a council. So I'm kind of on the fence on this one. I can't seem to decide which way we should be
The
going.
motion is to receive, which means that nothing happens.
Right.
You just receive the correspondence and
I get that.
no action, so.
You're debating yourself.
Well, I'm just trying to provide some context to the discussion here.
All right, so the
But-
motion, on the motion for receipt, all those in favor?
Move.
Motion's carried. All right, and number 6 is the circulation package. Is there anything that any councillors would like to pull from the package? Councillor Rowe?
No.
Councillor Lang?
Yeah, I'd like to pull, as soon as it comes up here, the FCM letter about the Green Municipal Fund. Page 19 on the circulation package.
Motion to receive all the other items of correspondence. Moved by Councillor Lang, seconded by Councillor Noel. Any discussion? All those in favor? Any opposed? Motion's carried. All right, Councillor Lang.
Yeah, I have to admit that I'm not an expert on this particular fund, though I did go online today and did a little bit of research. It seems that it might have some application in for our inquiries into how best to expand on the sewer system, or at least bring the sewer system into a more productive and financially balanced organization. So all I'm suggesting here is that this be referred to staff and see if the criteria meets, if it would be suitable for us to put in an application if the criteria matches what we're attempting to accomplish. I guess that's what I'm trying to say.
So it's on page 19, you said, or is it?
Yes.
What looks like it's
19.
for a survey. No, on page 19, well, it's on page 20.
Oh, well, if you go a little deeper into it, I guess it's. Yes, you're right. It is a survey, but if you go into their website, you'll find that they are accepting applications on an ongoing basis for funding, and it's for studies, plans, and actual low fund projects. I think the maximum was 175,000, and it's 50. So.
So we need to do something with this item of correspondence, which is a survey. So because we don't want to refer this to staff unless we want staff to fill out the survey. Or just to have staff investigate any opportunities for local projects that might qualify for Green Municipal Fund.
Right. That was my intent, not to have them fill out the survey. I mean, they can if they want. It says it'll take about 15 minutes, but I'm not, that wasn't my intent.
Motion in, and we should do, and that's just a direction to staff more than anything. So, but we should deal with the item of correspondence as we haven't received that. We've received
Okay,
all.
motion to receive.
Okay, moved by Councillor Lang, seconded by Councillor Noel. Any discussion? All those in favor? Motion's carried. So, 7, committee and staff reports. Report from the administrator.
Okay. Public Works will shortly be removing 4 untagged cottonwood trees that pose potential risks adjacent to the sewer plant. They are on village property. The council has advised that they will be replaced by a different species in the same hot spot to be planted in the spring. Broadband services in Kaslo. In addition to the recent positive news with respect to Kaslo Infinite Society's broadband efforts, TELUS Communications have informed the village that they are now able to offer 25 megabytes per second service to residential customers, and further the migration for business customers to the new 196 additional ports created this summer is in progress. Mr. Barry Farnock at TELUS can be contacted for more details with respect to TELUS infrastructure upgrades for customers within the local area. My understanding is that the value of that investment totaled $400,000 this past summer. I have a series of recommendations there for you.
The first one is that following the signing authorities be appointed to conduct kidney savings credit union transactions. One of designated employees, Neil Smith or Stephanie Patience, and one of council members, Mayor Susan Hewitt, councillors Rob Lang, Jim Holland, Kelly Ball, and Renella Glorioso. Moved by Councillor Holland, seconded by Councillor Lang. Any discussion? All those in favor? Motion is carried. Festive staff gratuity, and the recommendation is that $40 Christmas gratuities be provided to permanent, full-time, and part-time village staff. Moved by Councillor Holland, second by Councillor Lang. Any discussion? All those in favor? Motion is carried. And December 5th, 2014, 15 office closure. Recommendation is that the Village of Kaslo administration offices remain closed to the public during the Christmas and New Year period for the following dates and times: from noon on December 24th, December 30th, 31st, and January 2nd. Monday openings will resume on January 5th. Moved by Councillor Lang, seconded by Councillor Noel. Any discussion? All those in favor? Opposed? Motion's carried. And Local Government Leadership Academy, February 18th to 20th in Kimberley. Recommendation is that Mayor Hewitt and Councillors Holland, Noel, and Glorioso be approved to attend the Local Government Leadership Academy in Kimberley from February 18th to 20th, with travel expenses paid pursuant to municipal policy. Moved by Councillor Holland, seconded by Councillor Noel. Discussion? All those in favor? Motion is carried.
Why can't I get into my annotated agenda now? It was.
Maybe you open. Yeah, I can.
It occurs to me. Okay, I get how you do that.
The next item is committee action items.
Are we going to discuss the Village of Kaslo strategic priority chart? That was in,
Oh,
I want to put forward a motion, something that.
so this is something new, okay. I thought I missed something in the report. Sorry, we were talking about.
It's the last page.
Oh, I can see it. I
So should we
apologize.
have to go back to the previous
Yeah, it's on page 3.
report?
Page 3.
Oh, I saw it.
Well, because your name was, you
Yes,
signed
no.
off at the bottom, and I
Yes.
thought that was the end of
Well,
it.
my apologies to council, it was a very late addition. The mayor had asked that I do something like this just to get everyone up to date
And you're
on where we are right now. And in red text indicates further work or review required in 2015. Blue text indicates that substantial progress or completion of those particular items that were identified last January.
So I want to move that we refer the strategic priorities chart to the January 6th committee of the whole, and request that staff make a proposal to the committee of the whole for recommendation council on either in-house exercise or facilitated exercise to review the strategic priorities and do a strategic priority setting planning session. And that I would like to ask that report be ready for the February 10th council meeting, be presented at the February 10th council meeting. That'll get us in time for, we'll still have some time to address it for the budget. If we aim for it. So the whole intent of this motion is to get a little bit of a timeline around doing this exercise. And I think if we can have it done by February 10th, that's That's a push, but I think it's not unreasonable.
Councillor Lane?
I'm certainly not opposed to it. I think, though, that all members of council need to be present in the room when we go through this exercise. So that will affect the scheduling somewhat.
Yeah, that it was something that I had discussed with the CAO, but with council absences, it was looking challenging, and I wasn't sure what dates people were unavailable for at that time. So it is something that we have been discussing, and I do want us to be able to get together and do that. So if any absences are being planned by council, if you could let the CAO know, and we can try and work out a date. And hopefully it would work within that timeline.
Yeah, I'm not following what's going on yet. People aren't available for January 6th?
Councillor Glorioso is still away until the 10th, I believe. And I don't know when is your
And then
absence.
mine is the next one.
Well, then that's not possible. So I won't suggest it's not possible to wait till everybody's here. We're going to have to do the strategic plan. This is critical.
Yeah.
This is critical. We're not going to be able to wait for everybody here. We're going to have two councillors back to back on different months. It's not going to work. So I'm going to suggest, in light of that we stick with so far. I mean, for just, the motion I made seems very reasonable at this point.
Councillor Lane?
Can I ask Councilor Noel, is there a space between when Mel gets back and he leaves that we could wedge it in between those two events?
Is she back on the 10th?
I thought that was the date.
Yeah, I think I'm wrong. 7th.
You leave on the 7th.
There's no, we can't be done through.
Sure can.
I
You
don't
do
have
it.
to go with that. Yeah, dude.
And when are you back?
30th.
So it is still possible by February 10th. Plan it for early February.
Gives you 4 or 5 days. Pretty tight.
Okay, so why don't we leave it with the CAO though then, and we'll schedule something and we'll come up with a date that would be suitable. Even if somebody has to participate electronically, that would be fine. And it would probably be, it would depend on the availability of someone to facilitate it, whether it's an in-house facilitation or otherwise. That's another factor we have to weigh. All right, so we have actually a motion, but I don't know whether we had a second or did we?
Second.
Second by Councilor Miller. Any further discussion? All those in favor? Opposed? The motion's carried. So I can see your hand going up, so I wait a second. All right. Thank you for noticing that, because I came to the end of the report and I didn't, with the CAO signing off, so I didn't notice that there was a third page. That's okay.
No, I was curious because I had done all this before and then I bumped into it and then, oh, good, because it wasn't on the agenda. Good, it'd be
All right. And RDCK Recreation Commission minutes. Recommendation is the minutes be received.
Move.
Councillor Holmes, second by Councillor Lang. Any discussion? All those in favor? Opposed? Motion's carried. And any verbal reports? Any members of council? Councillor Holland?
It's not really a verbal report, but I'm not sure if this is already in the works or not, but we've recently hired a new staff person. And I think it'd be kind of nice if it's not a big inconvenience for the staff person, if they were introduced to council publicly at a meeting format like this as a new staff person, I think that would be a good thing to do.
Perhaps at a committee of the whole, and it's early enough in the day that it doesn't require attendance at an evening meeting. Is that,
Yes, well, I mean, we all know, it's more of a public
yes.
thing, so whether it should be a council or committee, all this. I'm not, whichever.
Councilor Lang, anything? Any committees to report on?
I'm just wondering, did we deal with 7B, or did I miss something there?
Oh, no, that's because I got thrown off track.
Right.
Sorry.
It's all right. I wanted to make sure the problem wasn't mine.
No, I skipped ahead in my head. All right.
I have no verbal report, by the way.
Oh, thank you. Okay. Take us through the report then.
Okay. Basically, you have a number of items recommended by committee of the whole at the meeting held on the 2nd. There are 4 recommendations there.
The first one is that staff proceed with submitting a proposal for the Kaslo River alternate intake project to build Canada and engage 9DOT Engineering to assist with proposal submission and discussion with government ministries. Moved by Councillor Lang, second by Councillor Knoll. Any discussion? All those in favor? Motion passes. Second one is that the funding of the liquid waste management plan is sourced from community works, gas tax funds, and other sources. Moved by Councillor Lang, seconded by Councillor Holland. Any discussion? All those in favor? Opposed? Motion's carried. Third one is that the draft terms of reference be negotiated for a prospective contract with True Consulting to complete stage 2 of the liquid waste management plan over 2015. Moved by Councillor Lang, seconded by Councillor Holland. Any discussion? All those in favor? Motion passes. And the fourth one is that Main Street Consulting Associates be approved its full $7,550 plus GST fee for advisory services rendered thus far to the City Hall exterior stabilization project. Moved by Councillor Holland, second by Councillor Knoll. Any discussion? All those in favor? Motion's carried. 8, bylaws. Bylaw 1166.
Yes. This bylaw repeals an out-of-date Board of Variance bylaw from the early 1990s and replaces it with a new one to ensure the village is in compliance with Local Government Act Part 26 requirements. The Kaslo Board of Variance has not existed since around 2003. Council is legally required to appoint one. It would be a board of 3 persons, and I'm hoping that the village can recruit 3 persons who also have an interest in being the design review committee for the development permit here. They'd probably have more to do with that than they would with the Board of Variance here. It's not, in small communities, it's not a very active board, which is why it can fall fall by the wayside.
Councillor Holland?
Sure, I'm ready to make a motion. I'll move that bylaw 1166, bylaw to establish a board of variance and the procedures and fees for appeals is read first time by content.
Seconded by Councillor Lang. Any discussion? All those in favor? Motion passes.
I move that bylaw 1166, a bylaw to establish a board of variance and procedures and fees for appeals is read second and third time by title.
Seconded by Councillor Lang. All those in favor? Motion passes. Thing under new business, we'll go to accounts payable. Motion, recommendation is that accounts payable for the amount of $111,579.14 be approved. Councillor Lang,
Second for discussion.
so all for discussion.
I was wondering, I think I know the answer, but I just thought I'd check because there's a line item for aviation liability.
Yes.
$44,091. Is that really liability? And
It says aviation. No, 2150.
Whereabouts in it is
so the 41,941 would be our total liability costs?
I don't believe, I believe that's our overall property insurance premium.
That's what it kind of
Yes,
figured. I just
yeah.
realized.
Maybe an error when it was entered. My plan is with the new chart of accounts is to have that cost broken out and put under the aerodrome department so that council can see what's been spent on that particular asset.
Okay, that's good. And so this is probably a sum that's always kind of been in there, it's just now we've got it.
Yeah, it always has to be insured.
Yeah, that's great. And I guess the second question is, I have two payments to Temple Consulting, one on December 1st and one on December 8th, for a total of $10,000. That is,
Well, the payment that's around 6,000 is the annual cost of the software that we budget for. There are also additional payments this year for the introduction of the new payroll system and breaking in the new charge of accounts for January 1st. It's been an expensive year.
Yeah, that's not Chris Temple.
yeah, the first, so the $4,000 one's for Chris Temple.
Kristen,
Yes,
yes,
it's
sorry,
different
that's our project manager
Okay.
for City Hall.
And the
Okay.
other one is our
Yeah.
software.
Okay, good, because my next, at 10 grand, my next question was what the total contract was over. The admin fees are a little high.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
So, it was moved and seconded. Any further discussion? All those in favor? Motion is carried. No further business. So, entertain a motion to adjourn. Moved by Councillor Lang. Discussion. All those in favor? Motion is carried.